Good morning, everybody. This is Jay. Let me know if you can hear me good. So we are live with Bookmap on YouTube. We're going to start in a few minutes, and also on Discord. As you know, every Wednesday we have a special webinar with Bookmap. Is a tool, is a software that I'm using since several years. Also was cool because in the past weeks, actually 1 week ago, I made a podcast with Scott Pulcini. Scott Pulcini, as we know, he's a former market maker. He was a trader for a firm at the pit in CME. So we explored the futures and how he used also order flow. So it's very interesting. I'm going to upload the video in the next week or weeks. Good morning, everybody. Mac, Shane, Pete, Paul. Good morning, all. So before starting, read always the disclaimer because, as you know, what we give on these Wednesday, okay, open days on Bookmap is for educational purpose only, okay? So don't treat this as an investment advice, and you know that your capital is always at risk. Now, having said this, first of all, congratulations to some of the traders like Agri, and also who was before? Yeah, Artie, Mikey, they did pretty good, and Anthony, who have been very consistent in the last weeks. Now, this morning, as you can see, I'm screen sharing several stocks. So if you have YouTube, you will see only 4 stocks, Nvidia, Tesla, and ENSC, and also we can put over here Snow. If you see instead, if you have instead the Discord, you will see also the scanner and also the futures. On Bookmap, we'll have Snow, Agri, ENSC, Tesla, and possibly you can also put Nvidia, okay, according to the setups or not. So first of all, good morning, Roshan. Good morning, brother. First of all, we can look at what the market is doing. So the market this morning is green. The market is uptrending. So all the tickers that we have are green, from Meta to SPY, PayPal, Netflix, MU, everything over here. The first one that I be watching this morning is this ES. So everybody can see over here ES. Let me know. We alert this this trade. Sorry. We alert over here this trade on ES exactly on this break over here. 5443. So if you go in our trading room, we set over here the long play between 5440 and 5443. The risk is this low, so we're risking something between like 3 and 5 points, and now this became a pretty good move between 10 and 12 points. So we can scale out a little more because it's going to come to open. So scale out another 25% in this case at 5454 on ES here. Hope you took it, because as soon as we saw the trade over here, we give it live. And also this is a trading system, so this is automated, so it comes up over here. This is a pattern that we trade, so you have to know the setup, and that was the play. So with that said, today we're going to look if ES will continue with strength or not. I'm always looking over here. You can see this on the screen, especially look at the hourly chart. If we are oversold, overbought condition, in this case, you can see that ES is getting over here a little bit in overbought condition. So possibly over here, we can have a little bit of pullback, and then we'll see if it's going to get more strength or not. Looking at the J-lines, we are sideways, okay? So I'm waiting the gate to see what it's going to do. On the other hand, we are long, and I alerted over here in the last weeks what was going to be my long on Bitcoin. So we are long over here, 88. My target is 110, then 120. Next one is Nvidia, okay? So yesterday, beautiful trend since Trump tweeted that he wants to be a little bit like, you know, mild, better, with Europe, with tariffs and everything. Look the market what it did. So Nvidia went up over here 5% from yesterday after hours. So a big push of the market, and then you can see over here some retracement to the J lines, another J lines over here long, And if this morning, okay, if this morning we're going to have a continuation, I want to see a little bit of pullback. I want to see over here that we're actually taking a little bit of profit out. And then I'm looking for a long play in this direction. Okay, so if this will come, the 1, 3, or 5 minutes will give you an alert that you can see like over here, J line C, okay, this green. So if you see this green, I know that now you will see only the 5 minutes, but actually that is going to be my long play. And if I have it, as I said, on the 1, 3, and 5, it will be a confirmation of my long. And over here on forecast, you will see on the over, okay? Now, you have always to prepare for a second plot. You know, you never know what the market is really going to do. So if we have instead a fake out of 105 and fail, then instead we're looking for a short play. But right now, okay, as we are right now, I'm looking for a continuation of the trend. And then we have Tesla. So Tesla, as you know, earnings over here last night. I didn't expect personally, you know, like everybody saying, oh, I expected, I was beautiful, I'm the best trader in the world, whatever, saying to themselves that they knew how Tesla over here would have react. Personally, I didn't. So I stood away from longing over here Tesla. What I know is that we had a major support over here, 220, 224, which was a weekly support. And on the hold of that support, so we can put over here Tesla, on the hold of that support, I was looking for a potential long play. Rambo, shh. Sorry guys, this is my doggy over here. So you can see the system over here. This is Tesla, right? What you can see over here. Sell over here, and then over here give me a long buy. And then over here we have another long buy on this dip support. Right now it's 257, so we have a possibility to come over here to 280, 290. So my point on Tesla is to stay in long and looking for dips to buy and target 280, 290. Okay, so I'm gonna write over here again, Tesla, the A+ setup this morning is gonna be considering long plays on dips, TP 280, 290. So if we have, what's up, remember, because it's going over here. My dog JTrader is scared because there's gonna be a storm soon. Yeah. So I hope I won't be in the dark. I have this generator, but you never know. And that's Tesla play. What happened in the small cap land? First of all, over here, snow. Okay, snow is one of those stocks that personally, I'm gonna put over here snow. One of the stocks that personally I had a lot to do with this in the past. We are short on this, and before we had a long play. I can share one of the team over here, what actually we did. So the long play came over here this morning at 6:30, and this was exactly using Bookmap, big spike in volume, and it came all the way up over here to 5:30. This 5:30 on ENSC, I alert over here the short on this major fake that we had up here. And then it simply started to unwind. This was around 7 o'clock. So over here, sorry. There we go. So I'm gonna share exactly what I saw. There we go. So in this case, you can see that the market over here was holding, okay? And we are over here around $5. So we were around this level over here. And then started to extend. My level daily was 514. This is a big spike over here, so I saw this exhaustion and then setting a first fail, a lower high, and once they start putting heat map, I said over here, look for a short play. Now over here, the team started taking a good short, and then also J-line rejection, which is the main fader. I also traded this. I share my chart in the room. Decent trade. What I like that you learn is the process, why we took that trade, because it was a key daily level, was exhausted. And over here I had a heat map confirmation of seller just coming in, and then we took the short. A few things to say about how I used today over here Bookmap, just to show you something else. I have over here set it up for the trading bars, okay? But you can put over here also your volume dots as usual. So on volume dots, you can see also I would say the bars and the sellers like inside the same bar. These are 10-second bar, but it's just like another way to show you what the market is doing over here and how to read order flow. So what is my point this morning? I'm looking for pops between 440 and 450 to add to the position short. I'm looking for the target over here around $3 and then even lower around 270. So my point this morning is going to be looking into SNOA, S-O-S-N-O-A, to add to the position short as a gap and crap. The system over here is telling me gap and crap. The second one is Agri. So we have traded Agri over here as well. Agri is a stock that faded pretty decently pre-market. This 260 was a high conviction trade. We alert with timestamps over here once we saw this double top at 260. I will share over here how the team traded. Yeah, this over here. So we can see the stock going up. On this first spike over here, we shorted. It didn't really, actually, sorry. On this first spike over here, we shorted. It didn't really work and we got out. And then we started building a position into this 270. The risk over here, you can see is daily level 278. So we started very, very small over here. Once we had a major spike, and you can see this arrow over here, exhaustion, and Bookmap over here, double topping. Then we loaded, we covered partial, and then a little bit more. And now we're looking for a possible fade until 170, 150. So the point of this today, again, is gonna be adding to the position short with this kind of volume. We don't have any serious risk for now that this will push. So we're gonna treat it like a gap and crap. This stock has also, I'm sorry, a history of fader. So this means that every single time the stock like extended, the stock had like a gap, a news like today, all right, it simply faded. Today, over here, why Agri is moving, not really for any kind of big news. I mean, it said growing system provides update on Bitcoin mining operation. This is generally like a fluff news, but the most important thing is the volume, the price section. So it's a Bitcoin related. It was, we know Bitcoin passed from 85 to 94, 95, you know, more or less, K up or 1,000 more or less. And over here, this had a spike because it was simply following like a sympathy, the Bitcoin, but now it's fading because it's proving that, you know, the stock is really worth nothing, or at least is a junkie. And now we will see like probably 150, 160. Okay. The last stock that we've been working with was ENSC, and we shared the long that we took over here. Yes, we took the long at display in ENSC. Bookmap at this point, 825 gave us a straight long entry. You can see this dip over here in this big heat map. Once we saw this big wash push, we started longing over here around 3. Sorry, my bad. ENSC. This was 810, pardon, my bad. So we were down here, yeah, much better. So you can see this big heat map, okay? We got a long over here around 380. Alert was 376 with timestamps. I also shared the trade that I took. I took it only until this 450. Other trader took it up until the 5. And then I tried shorting over here. It didn't work. I cut it, small loss. And then I started taking a little bit short over here around 490 for a risk into the 530 because it was my level on the 530. Once I saw this stuffy over here, I added a little bit more. And once I saw this lower high, I like this a lot. I saw the spike, exhaustion over here. Then I held the trade until over here, the $4. So we got a good almost 80 cents over here average for the unwind. Now it's bouncing. I just want to say that ENSC is the higher gapper, the bigger gapper of the day, has a micro float. We have not an edge in the sense that stats tells us that in the past 2 times fill on day 1 time it ran, but also that the high of day is around 11 o'clock and has an average spike of 30%. So if we stay, okay, with what this gave in the past, and I'm calculating over here 30%, and let's say this would be the open, then we will I would say, extend until this 560 or even 570, all right? So we have to look for an extension. I don't think they will have over here a 560, 570, but I will believe that 550 is going to be the trade that I'm shorting. So ENSC watching to add to position short between, as we said, 5 and 550. Okay, so this is going to be a play. The only thing I want to tell you is that be careful of the trap that ENSC can give, because for example, if we look over here the 1 minute chart, this morning we had a pretty good fake breakdown over here, and right away the volume came. Once that volume came, we start taking the long. I'm going to share over here what my team did, and you can see here, right, this long. So we took a short right away, we cut it, and then we took a long over here. And as I said before, we took those that move from 370s until over here to 450. Then we try to short and we get out over here, and then we start to build that position short and then covering partial to 420. So I'm expecting a possible push. We're gonna keep over here Bookmap into that 520 or even at 550, and we can have that. So this is a good long and then a shift to short play. Okay, we can go back and start putting our signal. So we're gonna have over here this morning, the first one I would like to have NQ. Then we're gonna have over here, okay, ES is fine. We're gonna keep a 5 minutes. The last one over here, gonna keep Nvidia. And then we have down here Snow, ENSC. We're gonna keep Agri, and let's see something else. I don't really want to look at UPXI, but that could be also an interesting one. By the way, traders, if you want, please put a like and also comment in the YouTube channel. Really appreciate for that. If you like what we do this also every single day, also sharing the answers access and the full process from 7 o'clock New York time until like late in the day. We have some great traders became on the radar, so I'm very proud of the team that we're building. They're newbies, advanced and professional traders. This is JTraderco. We're also having webinars in the room so that newbies can learn, and then we have a mentoring plan. Okay, so let's prepare over here Bookmap. We have Snow, Agri, ENSC, Tesla, and Nvidia. Again, I generally use Bookmap like you see over here, right? So with the dots, and I'll use that a lot to see absorption and spoofing and other I would say plays, right? But today I wanted to make something different, so I just put over here bars of 10 seconds, or you can use the 1 minute as what you prefer, really, to show you a different way to use Bookmap. Because some traders, they tell me, Jay, get too confused looking at the dots. Okay, there's another way to do it. You can also use over here the candles. Why we use Bookmap is an edge. Okay, this edge is as good as in futures. In futures, I have used something more, so you have like iceberg orders. Okay. But you can still see the majority of the liquidity that is passing into the market. So you can spot levels of liquidity. So participants, buyers and sellers, you can look at often the big hands. You can see where you have the big orders. Away from, I would say, the normal visual that you would have with the level 2. So you can see the depth of the market, and also you can see often, and I shared this, manipulation, for example, algorithms. More than once I shared in the room algorithms, okay? So there's different like things that you can see, and you can gain an edge against the market. Before, and this talking with Scott Pulsini, he told me that order flow was not available years ago when he started like in the 90s trading for the pit and the CME in Chicago. And it was something only for, the traders that they were the stock market, the futures market, okay? And this during the years. And then lately, in the last, I think, 10 years, the stock market, allowed also the retail traders to have an edge, so to have all sort of flow. but before this was not available to, you know, the retail trader to the day trader. So as we can see right now, if you look at the screen, we have a big uptrend in NQ and Tesla, and then if you have also Bookmap Discord, we can look at ES and also Nvidia. So I'm looking at generally 2 stocks in large caps, 2 futures, the halt plays that we may have during the day, or the stocks that are not present in my watch list, because I use this scanner over here, traders. So you can see the scanner that I'm using right now. And you can see that I use small caps, large caps, and then I also have earnings and I also halts. And then also for small caps, I generally keep between 2 and 3 stocks according to how many plays that we have, how many like decent small caps that we have. Yeah, so the plays that we actually have on, I would say our list, we are still short Agri, we are still short on ENSC, we're still short on Snow. UPXI is a stock that I don't like. Today they triggered over here SSR, if I'm not mistaken. This morning this is a pretty good extension from $9 till 12. I'm not gonna trade it. Okay, I'm not gonna trade. I'm gonna stay conservative. Only trade the best A+ setup that I can trade. Just wanted to share also this. This non c'era il verde sopra, ma c'erano quei 2 staccati. Quando è arrivato lì ha fatto quello lì e poi è andato un po' più in su così. Quindi sembra far poco perché può andare sempre più in su. Okay.
Yeah.
UPXI is curling right now, okay? UPXI curling, so this could be a potential short squeeze today due to SSR, and if volume comes in, because right now the volume is pretty cheap, but also is pretty like spready, so this could start like pushing a lot. Okay, so in Q and Tesla, in screen share, Snow and ENSC. By the way, traders, thank you for following in the pre-market that we had on Monday and Tuesday on my YouTube channel. I'm trying to make it every Monday and Tuesday, being that, you know, you guys liked it. If you have any other suggestion, or you simply want one day to participate with me in the screen share, going over things together. We've been sharing, like, you know, how we track, how actually we choose the best tickers to trade, which news are good, which are bad, setups long and short, where to put, for example, the risks, so the stop loss and the trailing. And it's a show that we give, you know, 1 or 2 hours on Monday and Tuesday. So check on YouTube. I'm gonna over here today put out the new link for next week. And by the way, if you're in Italy, on the 23rd of May, so still 1 month from now, we're gonna have an event in Rimini. There are gonna be a lot of traders participating. I'm gonna have a 3 hours that I will share my screen and trade in front of, I would say, of traders, of people. So it's gonna be a big room, around 100, 150 traders. So I'm gonna share there like my screen and trade. There's gonna be mainly stocks, but also if we have time and if you know, there's possibility, we're also going to share on futures. So this on the 23rd of May, okay? 23rd May, live trading event in Italy. So we have all the afternoon together if you want to participate. So I received over here a question, and this question was, really I received this question. This question was, traders, how much money you can do day trading? You know, how much money you can do actually in a month? Because this trader told me, Jay, I'm profitable, but I don't know how much money I should be making per month in order to quit my job. And I said, that's an answer that, you know, it's hard to give, because it depends for you how you consider a good paycheck. Okay, I don't know what you consider to be 3,000 if you're in Italy, could be maybe 5,000-6,000 if you're in the States, or maybe could be 15,000 if you're in New York. I don't actually know. So what I suggest is, before passing to full-time trading and leaving something, I would say, steady, even if you don't like your job, even if you know that everything that you create is made for somebody else to make him richer or to give him the service, I would say put away money, trade part-time, because also when you trade and you have a steady income, you trade much better because you don't have all that anxiety and pressure that you have to perform and you have to provide to yourself or even to your family. So the best would be always to have I would say, like a part-time trading, okay? And in the meantime, you have a job, even a part-time job where you have an income. Then you can become very good and you see that you're really making the numbers, then okay, you can pass the full-time trading. But before, leaving something steady, something that you perhaps gives you, an income, brings the food home, especially if you're like me, then, think twice before doing that. So that's my suggestion. Talking, just like that, trading is the best job because really you can make in an hour what maybe a person makes in a month, okay, in his job. I'm not saying a year, but in a month. And this I see it from many traders that I know. All right, so we have 5 minutes to go. This morning, so I'm staying with NQ, Tesla, which over here I'm screen sharing Bookmap. Yes, Nvidia, I'm staying first for the long play. Okay, so if market is going to be strong, I'm going to be staying long play. If market will stuff, I'm going to reverse to short. But for now, I'm staying long play. Snow and Agri, major short play for me. ENSC, would like to see a pop, as I said. What do you want? 490 and 540. A little bit far. Morning, Chris. Morning, brother. So who just came right now? We have a list of stocks here. I'm screen sharing right now. NQ, Tesla, Snow, and ENSC. For those who are also in the trading room, I'm screen sharing as well. ES, Nvidia, Agri, and Snow. We're gonna have Bookmap on ENSC, Tesla. These two will be the main ones. Then it's gonna be Nvidia, and I'm looking right now for long on dips on Tesla and NQ. Short on pops on Snow and ENSC. Fai giù?
No.
Oggi dopo c'è niente?
Cos'è oggi?
Mercoledì.
Big Caps.
No, l'ho detto ieri.
Oggi cos'è?
Mercoledì.
Mercoledì non c'è niente. A caso i giorni?
1 minute and 30 seconds.
Yeah.
And you can give me your opinion if you prefer that I screen share Bookmap in this way, so looking at candles, or you prefer that I use Bookmap as usual with the volume dots. I mean, for me, there's really no problem. I can use both. You're gonna see a little bit of weakness. So whenever we have this weakness that we start near the J lines over here, what happens? It happens that often we have a dip and a push. So I would love to see that push. They say put because it's actually where shared that we took the long and we took the short. Okay, shared even before in the streaming. So if this is recorded, go back on YouTube and you can rewatch it. How we took the long over here, shared the charts, and also how we took the short over here, sharing execution. Questo lontano, questo lontano, questo qui è quello che può essere, perché può andare qui e qui. 20 seconds to go. Okay, open. Remember Tesla after the earnings. We have some sellers over here. Yes, it's setting up for a long, and NQ are setting up for a long. Fill on snow, we're still holding. Still no plays. ENSC dip into the 1 minute J lines. So as we said before, once we have the 1 minute J lines over here dipping, then they can push. Tesla unwind over here, so from some profit taking. Wait on NQ. ENSC dip, look for a push. Snow weak. Nvidia short play now 104 and 40. While NQ and ES are starting to push. So we can put over here Nvidia. You can see the big heat map. I'm gonna put Nvidia over here instead of Tesla. So as soon as we fill that heat map over here at 105, we have the rejection here, the VWAP, that's our short 104 and 40. And now we're setting the stop to 104 and 40, okay? So we're trying to hold as much as we can this position. We'd like to see a follow through because the system over here is saying FFT. ES and NQ are not really helping because they're still pushing. NQ and ES, Jalen's dip from the 18,945. They're pushing, still bullish. Out of it here, everything on Nvidia. So for a small win. Let's see Tesla. So NQ, big breakout. Remember our play that we said to start watching for the open is that long. And Nvidia and Tesla are doing totally the opposite. That's our long on Nvidia. So directly from the planned pre-market. Sorry, NQ, planned pre-market long. Tesla is still weak. Remember earnings yesterday, they're selling over here, so a lot of profit taking. Nvidia over here, breakdown. So scalp play over here, 103 is 70s. So short Nvidia, 103 and 70s. Breakdown of J lines. We'll share the charts over here, 103 and 30. Our target is 102.50. The risk is 70. Okay, so the play is very easy on Nvidia, and I'm gonna put it over here. You can see the system is saying ENSC, and this is our team over here. So we went short, and then we went short again over here. So we're holding now the short position. Maximum risk break even target is 102.50. So we're looking for 5 to 6R. Good morning, David Duffy. Good morning, Hart. Yes, Singh, you can use the sweep indicators and the VOC on Bookmap even for the stocks. Okay, market is reversing. So it's very interesting over here to look at NQ and ES, which are giving short plays right now. Okay. So short play now, 5445 ES. It's a reverse of 50 play, and NQ short play 18,928, 18,940 on reverse of 50. Nvidia is still going down, so good. Nothing really much on small caps for now. So we're waiting. I like the fake out that we had over here. So if you see this point, first was a good long play from this dip, right? But once the price comes back up on NQ, so QQQ is the same, right? And we start fading, that is where you can start looking for a short play. Careful now because market is pushing very strong, 104. And we're reversing over here to a long position. And also an NQ. NQ long position. Could be a tweet or something right now. NQ long position. ES long position. NQ long position and Nvidia long position. So market is simply reversing, careful. Look over here, what a spike on NQ and ES. So we passed from a short then to a long. So we want to see Nvidia over here at the highs. Nvidia watching for 105. Risk is 103.80. Careful with this market because you can see how shake is, right? We had first a short over here on NQ and then pushed back up. First a short over here in Nvidia, then pushed back up. So it's mostly like a scalp play right now, right? So it's better to use over here the bigger picture on the 515. Just want to share with you also what happened on the 1 minute. So big resistance over here on Nvidia. Again, we're looking to reshort it. If NQ will break down, we're looking to reshort Nvidia and Tesla. So careful over here. Market is where the whippy. So there's no clear direction. It's mostly scalp. I'm looking for a breakdown over here on Nvidia. So if we break down the 103 and 60, 103 and 70, we'll be looking for shorting again. Reason why we have a ton of heat map over here, 104.50, 104.30. And we also need to see NQ to fail, right? So start watching this play. Yeah, I heard people took profits on those calls over here on Tesla. Yep, absolutely. So Snow is still a short we're holding, ENSC is still a short we're holding, and Agri is still a short we're holding. You can see instead NQ holding the pre-market high. ES holding over here as well, the pre-market high. Support over here, 103 and 90 on Nvidia. Careful if you break this because it could wash. Agri over here, spike. So let's also watch Agri soon. And over here, short. So shorted Nvidia 103 and 90. We'll share the chart. I want to see a breakdown and fill all the way down, but we have to see how NQ and ES will behave because right now they're holding the pre-market high. So my stop is going to be around 104, the VWAP. Okay, I'm going to stop almost break even. My risk is tight. So if I see over here 104, I'm getting out immediately. Tesla is still down. Nvidia is still over here below the VWAP. So below VWAP, fake out over here display. NQ no direction, yes, no direction. That's the reason why I took the short. And I'm monitoring over here in case I have to stop. Let's see on a 15-minute chart. Yeah, a little bit more push over here in the SNQ, so they're not helping our trade on Nvidia. And if I have 0.4 now pushing, I'm out. So it will be a small cut. Yesterday was a day where we took the all unwind, actually sorry, the all long, the day before the all unwind. Today is a little bit, the market is a little bit sideways. Yes, and NQ are pushing, so ready to get out over here on Nvidia. I'm gonna take a partial profit over here in the money, even if it's a small win. 77. And you can see out, okay? So out because they start pushing and there's a ton of manipulation right now, okay? So didn't really move as we wanted, but it's important over here to share when things are not working. So we took the short and the win stuff, short J-lines cover. We took over here a long play and out. We took a little bit over here, a short starter, pop, we had a little bit more, and then out, just small in the money, okay? So it's not moving, so I'm not really going to touch any more large caps for now. Much better over here, the NQ, because first it gave a good long, and then reverse to the short, and then a good long again. But again, you have to be super quick, super quick. ENSC, in the meantime, is our short, we're still holding. We have an average around 520 and other traders 515. We're looking for an unwind over here to 280 and then $2. So Tesla's still down. Yes, and NQ are still up. So slow market for today, but I believe this is also normal, because let's look what we had these days, traders. Okay, let's look 1 second what we had these days. This was S&P. Okay, let's look on the 5-minute chart. So this has been the last 2 days over here. So this was the there we go. This was the 21st. Okay, we had a beautiful short play. Then yesterday we had this long play. And it's pretty simple to understand the shorts. This blue line is the J-lines, okay? So this is a 14 and 17. So we short over here, just a 935, and these were the ads. And that was our short that we took. And then day after, so yesterday, we had over here the long play. This was in pre-market, and then over here at the open. So we had all this long play and J-lines over here. This morning, yes, over here had dip, but it's not really trending. So I don't like really this price action too much. What about our trade over here? A snow, short play. And then you can see also over here ENSC is giving a second short play. You see the J Slim and that arrow. This is automated, so it tells us that we have to short over here, or actually it's suggested to short. But these are the two plays in small cap land. So we treat it like a gap and crap. What means gap and crap means a stock that is simply fading, okay? And look over here on Nvidia. This is pretty interesting. You can see the dip over here, high liquidity level. And they start like bouncing. But why I'm not longing over here? Well, we're still below the open level. We're still below the J-lines over here. It's not trending, so I'm not comfortable in trading this. Tesla much better for than wine instead, because simply came down straight, had a good pop over here, and then over here found a good support 245s. So anybody holding ENSC with us, expecting to see more fader. This is still the bigger gapper of the day. NQ and ES going for the break. Nvidia found a good support over here. Don't trade it right now. We're in the mid-range. UPXI, don't touch it. It's only long plays over here, SSR. So UPXI, SSR, high volume on this push. TP is going to be possibly 13, so don't touch a short. Only long. And again, if you want to long things like UPXI, so like this, remember that the best play where to long it is trying those dips into the J lines, okay? Just like, for example, we had it this morning on ENSC, or we had it like on snow. Try to long it like over here. You see those dips into the J lines. Now, what happened over here? That the market, I'm gonna put snow. The market over here gave two major plays. Okay, you can see over here that's alert. You see that RJ Slim, that's alert over here to take the long, and it came with Bookmap confirmation. And then over here we had the short play, and another short play came over here once these bands became red, and then over here at the open when we had this pop, okay, exactly into that J lines over there. You can see how perfect. So that is where you want to long over here, and then you take the backside for the short. Okay, so well done, Guido. If there's no play, or we can miss a play or whatever, don't trade, don't simply chase. So very, very good risk management and discipline. I prefer that you are like that than you take trades that are not important or not simply good A+ setups. Okay, let's go back on NQ. Yes. In the meantime, again, Nvidia is sideways. Tesla's still making new lows on the 5-minute chart. Snow and over here ENSC are still short plays. The play on ENSC over here is an A+, all right? So gap and crap, we should fill until 280, actually $3, sorry, and then $2, okay? So ENSC, TP 280, so let's say $3, and then $2. So let's look for that. Snow, we should fill over here by levels 3. So we have still a good possible unwind. NQ over here, fake out. So fake out, liquidity trap. I like this. Short play on NQ and ES. So this is nice. So QQQ, NQ, short, fake out, liquidity trap. So on NQ 19, 080. Risk 19, 120. TP 19, 4. 18, sorry, 18, 940. And now we have still what? Nvidia coming down. All right. So you can see over here the fill and rejection on Nvidia. Let's see this, but remember it's SSR, but you know, we can check it. Okay, go ahead and wind over here on NQ. So NQ, this is going to be the target and lower. I'm short on NQ. I'm short on ES. I'm short on SPY. I'm short on QQQ. Nvidia, nice breakdown right now. Yes, I'm winding good. So try to hold as much as you can over here. Yes, NQ, SPY, QQQ, all short play, okay? And these are good short plays. The reason, as we said, is this major liquidity trap over here. This. So first target on QQQ is going to be 459, first TP. And first target on Q is going to be 8975, first TP. So I'm dating over here in the room. And ES, first TP is going to be 5460 TP. Okay, it's working good. Perfect. Good trade on the Qs. So this is our team over here, shorting exactly on the fake out and taking the first target into the 1 minute J lines. And then if this continues right now, we're gonna stay with 18,885 second target, or if it comes back up, stop to the break even. So in this case, Tesla came to a big support, this 245, whole rundown number, fake breakdown, a little bit of bounce. It's still not a long for me. We're getting back down to the 241. NQ, ES, Qs, and SPY, they're holding simply the 1 minute J line. So careful, because in case we don't break to the downside then they're gonna go back to the highs. Very slow in ENSC, but it's still moving. Yeah, non c'è niente.
Solo così, ma guardato sotto, uno si picchia.
So one thing on Agri, 215 breakout with volume can push, so careful. For now, hold it. Snow is at 3.9. As we said, we want to see $3. Let's check the scanner. So I'm looking over here on the scanner at Jtrade. I'm looking at the stats of each of these stocks that are gapping. We have PSTV, which is a stock that we often have traded. So PSTV on the move has a 50 million float and history of fader. Why this is up today? No, this is still not the news. And now we're gonna check the levels on this PSTV. When I say has history of fading, it means that this stock, every single time that it extended or at a gap, it tended to fail after. You see now again, look this manipulation on the Qs and on Q, okay? That's the reason why you have to be super quick. Because you could see from our short over here, how this went up fast and then pushed this 10 o'clock. So we have the data here. I think is new home sales, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, thank you, Tibor. So I'm ready over here, traders, to flip short again on NQ, on ES, if we start fading the J-lines. For now, no, okay? È arrivato lì perfetto, ma non c'era abbastanza spazio. This is something that I don't want you to trade, but we're gonna review together. UPXI. You can see extension from this big heat map, break, now support from the big heat map. Questo qui. Te lo sei arrivato perfetto. So we have a new stock also, PSTV, which is extending. So we're gonna keep it over here. We're looking for 117, 122 short. So PSTV, 117, 122 short. Meanwhile, NQ, still at the J lines. Yeah, still at the J lines. You can see that it basically didn't move this morning. So we don't have like a price action that is uptrending or downtrending. There we go. PSTV. Hope you took it.
Nice.
Again, this is my team on PSTV. Short over here, 114 to the 1. Our level was, as I said, 117, 120. And let's try to make it a little bit bigger. You see the short over here, they're still holding target 0.90 and lower. Let's see. Yeah, first target over here is 0.94. So good team. And this is what we do. So a simple trade like this is, you know, can give you a good instant paycheck for the day. We're still holding Snow. And we're still holding Agri and ENSC. Okay, so 3 stocks in small cap land that we're holding from pre-market. And then at the gate, you had these 2 levels over here, J lines and golden zone to recycle short. Avoid over here trading SNQ, right? SNQ, no trade, no setup, no trend, only trade extremes. So when you are in a range, okay, assuming that you are trading one of these 2 stocks, NQ or ES, so what are you going to do? When you're in a range, you have first of all to put your levels. Okay, this is the level that we had a resistance. This is the level that we had a support. So you're trading only the extremes, or you buy dips down here, or you short over here these pops, because we're still not uptrending. We still don't have that strength. Yeah, buddy, that is pretty good. Decent, Davide. That's a P&L. So some traders over here are killing it. Well done. This is my team this morning, team. Not bad for the day. Okay, careful, Snow is coming back up.
No.
ARB also pushing. Remember, ARB is a stock that extended a lot, so we're gonna put it over here on Bookmap. Let's see, SSR, so careful. Bear.
Yep. 291.
Short over here, 290s. So ARB, short 290, risk 3. High risk, aggressive. Trozza livelli, quello è il rischio. Okay.
Yeah.
If it breaks 3, can shoot. So you have to be careful on that. No, look, questi sono distanti, quello lì, 315. They're holding the support at 290. You can see here, traders. Just trying to hold the 290, so they want this to push. What I believe over here, that if the next bar over here opens in the 5 minutes, start rejecting this resistance 310, 315, we're gonna have a fail, okay? So ARB, watch for open here below 310, 315, and on rejection shorted. It's a high risky trade because of an SSR, okay? Big heat map. That's your short play. 305, 310. Risk over here, 315s. Okay? That's your short play. Boom. I believe it's gonna fail. Boom. I know Chris Wilkins is with us. This is not a stock to trade for newbies, as I said, but there's a high chance this can fail if it stays below 315. Look at the high volume over here. If it goes instead above 315, we have to cut it because this can shoot very strong. Agri. It's still good for short. Let's see. I'm gonna check the 1 minute. So you can see the 1 minute had a fake breakdown of 280s, 285, came back up, big spike. The spike has to stay below this 315. Somebody wants to get filled over here at $3. You can see here, right? This big support at $3. Somebody wants to get filled. They're selling into him. Let's see if they break $3, 30,000 shares. You're soaking a ton at $3. Still sellers, boom, drop, 290. Want to see over here this coming all the way down. Serve check questo è lontano. Qui.
Sta arrivando il prossimo.
Yeah. And again, they sold from 290 back to 315. So, cautious over here. And the position that you trade on this stock versus, for example, what I've been trading this morning on Snow, ENSC, or in Nvidia or the Qs have to be much smaller because, as we said, it's an SSR with a microflow, so it's a riskier trade. Still holding the position, risk at 315, maximum 320. And again, if we have a stop over here, the stop will be like 1/5 of the P&L of the day. Over here. Lontano. Qui è lontano.
Yeah.
E sopra lì. And ENSC is going down, hold it. Snow, we're still holding a short. In Q, no position. And Nvidia over here is bouncing back up. Let's put this ARB. So we have a wall of buyers between $2.80 and $3. A risk over here around 316. So if we break this 316, we're out. Again, also this traders is a stock that you have to borrow with certain brokers you won't find on IB or, for example, Thinkorswim, even if they're good brokers. You have to look for Cobra, Zimtra. So where you will find these hard to borrow stocks. Okay, careful over here because the 315 went away on the ask. So you see that we don't have any more liquidity. So if it start pushing over here, we cut 315. If it unwinds, we're going to hold it. $3 over here is a serious support. Would like to see a breakdown and a wash. Di quello c'è tutto. Vabbè. Vabbè.
Yeah.
C'è tutto.
Sì, sì.
Perché è andato su, ha rotto il rosso, e quello lì e quello c'è tutto. If now we reclaim fast at 310, we're out. Okay, so now moving stop loss to 310, average is 308. Now big heat map over here at 310. Let's see. I like to see this. Let's see now if seller will join. Okay, yes, back to the 1 minute daily lines as NQ. If we break 285, this will wash. It's going to be probably a hold down play. And look over here. You see that manipulation, right? That SSR micro float. From right away 2.9 in 2 seconds came to 310. They absorb a little bit. And they're probably going to try again. So very careful on trading these stocks. You have to be super quick, experienced, no for newbies. ES is coming down now, right? ES and NQ coming down. Agri, adesso questo come trade c'è tutto. E molte volte anche se sono in Bookmap, anche se hanno SSR vanno.
Yeah.
So fast recap over here in the meantime. So Agri been holding this all morning from pre-market. As you said, we're going to hold it until probably end of day. ENSC want to see the $3. Tesla over here had a major fail, dipping to 245 and then came back up over here to the J line. So if market now will start to fail, this is a good possibility over here for a short play. Nvidia, again, you can see that we dipped and the first good trade came over here at this level. And I'm going to share with you why. We have J lines here. This is the where we have the J lines. Okay, so this level over here on there we go on Bookmap. This one is where we have the J lines, and over here we have the J-lines. Okay, so together you can see J-lines with a big heat map. Look how they're working together, and that's a good fail. UPXI, nothing. ARB, as we said, put now the stop in the money. So put stop break even, put stop break even on ARB. You can see how they're holding it, so it's very high chance over here this will go for the upside and push it. So we're out over here in the money. We made a couple of cents and nothing else. Now we have 315. Nvidia coming down, and let's look for Tesla for a possible trade as well. Okay, so if we have over here trendline break, we're gonna short on Tesla. Yes, it's fading good, and NQ is fading good. Nvidia over here, short play. Andavo a far cagare, se non era così lontano. In America ogni tanto pomeriggio andavo.
Sì, perché stavo facendo 2 mattino. Domattina. Domani vengo anch'io.
So Tesla still not short, didn't break over here. Actually, we're short over here. Strength. Nvidia. Let's see if it's gonna fail. Our risk is 103 and 60. So first target. Is going to be 102.60. Entry level 102 and 40, 103 and 40. Risk over here 103 and 60s, 103 and 50. So we have a very tight risk versus the potential fail. But everything depends on this NQ and ES, which are holding over here the support. Good decision, traders, on ARB. Just to go back 1 second. Explain over here, once we added support at 310, 315 to simply cut it. And, you know, a small win, scratch, break even, so that's pretty good. Meanwhile, Snow is still playing. ENSC still playing. We are now on Nvidia. Let's look. Tesla still pushing. So we have NQ, yes, sideways, not moving. So we had over here a cut on Nvidia for about 20 cents. Questo qui perché questo è incrociato. Qui è andato su e è venuto bene, qui è andato su e è venuto bene, qui è andato un po' su, qui è andato un po' su. In teoria dovrebbe venire giù, però queste sono attaccate. Però it's going down good, 350.
Yeah.
All right, team, so it's 10:30. Market is bouncing a little bit over here, but again, ES and NQ are not really trending. Continue to hold my positions. Good day in small cap land. Large cap, very, I would say, sideways. Even Nvidia over here. I was looking this morning. Apple didn't really give any kind of A+ setup. And Amazon. Look at Apple over here. Look, also Amazon didn't really make any kind of big moves. So I'm gonna wait for probably the afternoon after 1 p.m. to trade more. Again, if you like to get in our room, reach out. We'll send you a discount. You can try 2 weeks for to trade with us. So a very small fee, and then you can become a good trader with us if you stick for 1 year. So I always say that to become a good trader takes some time, at least 6 months, to stay in the room and learn how we trade, learn the strategy. Again, thank you for following us. Put a like if you like today, reach out, and see you next time. Thank you.